My ex-husband invited me to his wedding to disgrace me, but when I arrived, the whole hall froze to the bone. Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Jessica, and I'm so excited to have you here. Today, I'll be sharing a piece of my life with you. Like many stories, mine has seen both ups and downs, but at the heart of it all, it's about finding strength, healing, and true happiness. I hope my journey inspires you in your own. Please, like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more inspiring African tales. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me continue sharing stories that touch hearts and change lives. Thank you so much. When I was 32, I was absolutely over the moon. I had married the love of my life, Mike. Our home was filled with laughter, shared dreams, and the comforting rhythm of everyday life. We'd spend evenings cooking together, our kitchen often smelling of garlic and herbs, talking about everything and nothing. Weekends were for adventures, a quiet picnic by the Lagos Lagoon, or exploring the vibrant markets, hand in hand. Every moment felt like a gentle breeze, a sweet melody playing in the background of our lives. I truly believed we had found our forever in each other, a bond that was unbreakable. Life was a beautiful tapestry, and Mike was the most vibrant thread. Then, ever so subtly, like a shift in the wind, things began to change. At first, it was barely noticeable, just a tiny ripple in our calm waters. Mike, who used to rush home to me, started coming home a little later. He'd have explanations, of course, traffic was crazy, or a last-minute meeting, and I, in my naive bliss, believed him. I loved him, and trust was the cornerstone of our relationship. I brushed away the tiny doubts that tried to creep into my mind, telling myself it was just the stress of work, the demands of his career. Our evenings, once so lively, became quieter, filled with more silences than conversations. It felt like a delicate flower slowly wilting, and I was desperately trying to keep it alive with the warmth of my unwavering love and belief. The subtle changes soon became more pronounced. Mike started spending more time with his friends, often following them to clubs. Our quiet evenings at home, once cherished, were replaced with his late-night returns, sometimes with the faint scent of perfume that wasn't mine. My heart would ache with a dull throb, a quiet sorrow that I tried to hide even from myself. When I tried to talk to him, to gently ask about his newfound late-night outings, he would become defensive, or simply shrug it off, saying, "It's just the guys, Jess. You worry too much." I wanted to believe him, truly I did, but a cold knot of dread began to form in my stomach. The laughter in our home was fading, replaced by a growing silence that spoke volumes. It felt like I was losing him, piece by painful piece, and I didn't know how to stop it. Then came the day that shattered my world into a million pieces. It was a day etched forever in my memory, a day when the ground beneath me completely gave way. I was sitting in our living room, perhaps reading a book or just lost in thought, when I heard the front door open. I expected Mike, maybe a little later than usual, but him nonetheless. Instead, he walked in, not alone, but with a woman. She was visibly much younger, maybe in her early 20s, vibrant and confident. My breath caught in my throat. My mind struggled to process what my eyes were seeing. The air in the room became thick with an unbearable tension. It was a scene I could never have imagined, a nightmare unfolding right before my eyes in the sanctity of my own home. My heart pounded, a frantic drum against my ribs, as I stared, unable to move, unable to speak. My voice, when it finally came, was a mere whisper, trembling with disbelief and pain. "Mike, who is this?" I managed to ask, my gaze darting between him and the young woman, who stood there with an almost defiant air. Mike looked at me, and his eyes, once so full of love for me, now held a cold indifference I had never seen. "Jessica," he said, his voice devoid of any warmth, "you're an old woman now. I'm done." Those words, sharper than any knife, pierced through my very soul. An old woman. The phrase echoed in my mind, mocking me, stripping away my dignity, my worth. The woman beside him smirked, a cruel glint in her eyes. In that moment, the love I had for Mike, the years of devotion, evaporated, replaced by a searing pain and a profound sense of betrayal. It was as if he had ripped my heart out and crushed it right before my eyes. The next morning dawned, cold and bleak, mirroring the emptiness in my heart. I sat on our balcony, the same balcony where we used to share morning coffee and dreams, now sipping my coffee alone. The world outside felt gray, muted, as if all its vibrant colors had been drained away. Mike was still asleep, or perhaps just pretending to be. The young woman was gone. As I watched the city slowly wake up, a quiet resolve began to settle within me. The pain was still immense, a raw wound, but beneath it, a tiny spark of strength ignited. Old woman, he had said. No, I was not just an old woman. I was Jessica, a woman who deserved respect, love, and kindness. I finished my coffee, the bitter taste a stark reminder this was not my life anymore. This was not the love I deserved. The decision, though heartbreaking, was clear. With a heavy heart, but a determined spirit, I began to pack. Each item I touched brought a flood of memories, our wedding photos, the little trinkets we'd collected on our travels, the silly gifts we'd exchanged. It felt like I was packing away not just my belongings, but a lifetime of shared moments, a future that would now never be. Tears streamed down my face, hot and fast, blurring my vision. It was a goodbye to a dream, to a love I thought would last forever. But even amidst the sorrow, there was a quiet dignity. I was not leaving in anger, but in self-preservation. I carefully folded my clothes, placed my books, my few cherished possessions, into boxes. This wasn't the end, it was a painful, necessary new beginning. I was leaving the house, yes, but I was not leaving myself behind. 9 months had passed since I walked out of that door, leaving behind a shattered past. 9 months. It felt like a lifetime and yet, in some ways, just yesterday. The initial pain had dulled, replaced by a quiet healing. I had moved into a small, cozy apartment, making it truly my own, painting the walls in cheerful colors, filling it with plants. I found solace in my work, in long walks, and in rediscovering hobbies I had put aside. My friends, my wonderful support system, rallied around me, offering comfort and laughter. I learned to cook for one, to enjoy my own company, to find joy in the simple things. The scars were still there, faint but present, reminding me of where I'd been. But I was no longer defined by the heartbreak. I was learning to breathe again, to smile genuinely, to slowly, carefully, rebuild my world. My life was taking on a new hue, a gentler, more resilient color. One crisp morning, as I was enjoying my routine cup of tea, an unexpected notification popped up on my phone. It was an email, an invitation. My heart skipped a beat as I read the sender, Mike. And the content, an invitation to his wedding. My hands trembled slightly as I held the phone. He was getting married. To her, I presumed. A pang of something akin to surprise, perhaps a touch of residual hurt, flickered through me. But then, a stronger emotion took hold, defiance. Why would he invite me? To gloat, to humiliate me, to show off his new, younger bride. I stared at the screen, a myriad of thoughts swirling in my mind. For a moment, I considered deleting it, pretending I never saw it. But then, a different thought, a spark of something mischievous and powerful, began to form. Maybe, just this wasn't an invitation to my humiliation, but an opportunity for my triumph. The decision was made. I would go. Not for him, but for myself. This wasn't about seeking revenge, it was about reclaiming my narrative. I wanted to show him, and more importantly, show myself, that I was not the old woman he had dismissed. I was stronger, more beautiful, and more resilient than ever. The preparation became a mission. I visited my favorite tailor, discussing fabrics and styles for a dress that would make heads turn. I spent hours at the salon, getting my hair and makeup done, feeling a transformation happen with each stroke of the brush. I chose accessories that sparkled, not just with diamonds, but with confidence. Each step was a declaration. I am here, I am thriving, and glorious. This wasn't just an outfit, it was armor, a symbol of my new, empowered self. The day of the wedding arrived, filled with a nervous excitement. I took a deep breath, adjusted my dress, and walked into the grand venue. The hall was filled with guests, a sea of faces, some familiar, some not. Mike and his new bride stood at the altar, beaming. As I walked down the aisle, every eye in the room turned towards me. A hush fell over the crowd. I felt their gazes, their whispers, their shock. I held my head high, a confident smile playing on my lips. My dress, a vision in emerald green, shimmered with every step, perfectly accentuating my figure. My hair was styled elegantly, my makeup flawless. I wasn't just walking, I was gliding, radiating an aura of grace and undeniable beauty. Mike's jaw dropped, his face paling as he saw me. The young bride, his new wife, looked stunned, her smile faltering. The humiliation he had intended for me had dramatically backfired. As I continued my graceful walk, my gaze swept across the room, and then it landed on a familiar face. Alex, Mike's best friend. He was standing near the front, and his eyes, usually so full of humor, were now wide with admiration, a genuine smile spreading across his face. Alex, a man of quiet strength and immense kindness, had always been a good friend to both Mike and me during our marriage. He had been a silent observer of Mike's changes, and I knew he had been worried about me. Our eyes met, and in that brief exchange, there was an unspoken understanding, a shared history, and a glimmer of something new. He offered me a warm, reassuring smile, a silent acknowledgement of my strength and beauty. It was a comfort, a pleasant surprise, to see a friendly face amidst the spectacle. The reception was in full swing, and I was holding court, surrounded by well-wishers and curious onlookers. Mike, looking utterly bewildered and flustered, kept stealing glances at me from across the room. He seemed to be realizing the magnitude of his mistake. Then, Alex approached me. "Jessica," he began, his voice low and sincere, "you look absolutely breathtaking." He paused, taking my hand gently. "I know this might seem sudden, especially here, but I've always admired you. Your strength, your grace, your kind heart." My heart fluttered a little. Alex, the successful entrepreneur, the quiet billionaire, was known for his integrity and his sharp mind. "Jessica," he continued, looking deeply into my eyes, "I want to spend my life with you. Will you marry me?" The words hung in the air, audacious and utterly unexpected. Mike, who had just walked by, froze, his eyes wide with shock. My mind reeled. A proposal. At Mike's wedding. It was like something out of a movie. I looked at Alex, his eyes filled with sincerity and hope. He wasn't asking out of pity, or spite, but genuine affection. My heart, which had been so guarded, began to open, cautiously, to the possibility of new love. I smiled, a real, uninhibited smile that reached my eyes. "Alex," I began, my voice filled with emotion, "I don't know what to say." But even as I spoke, I knew the answer. He had been there, a steady, kind presence, a true friend. And now, he was offering me a future, a fresh start, with a man who clearly saw my worth. The moment felt surreal, beautiful, and incredibly liberating. Mike, I noticed, was being consoled by his new wife, who looked utterly mortified. The tables, it seemed, had truly turned. Later that evening, as I was still processing the incredible events of the day, my phone buzzed. It was a message from Mike. I opened it, a curious mix of apprehension and indifference washing over me. "Jessica," it read, "I am so incredibly sorry. I made a terrible mistake. Please, can we talk? His words, once capable of crushing me, now held no power. There was no anger, no sadness, just a quiet understanding of how far I had come. His apology, while perhaps sincere, was far too late. It was a faint echo from a past that no longer held me captive. I was with Alex now, basking in the warmth of his genuine admiration and the promise of a future filled with respect and true love. Without a moment's hesitation, I deleted Mike's message. It was a simple action, but it felt incredibly powerful, a symbolic severing of the last thread connecting me to a painful past. There was no need to dwell, no need to revisit old wounds. My focus was on the present, on Alex, and the wonderful, exciting future that lay ahead. We were having a delightful time, sharing stories and laughter, making plans, feeling the genuine connection between us grow stronger with each passing moment. With Alex, I felt seen, valued, and truly cherished. He made me feel like the most beautiful, intelligent, and captivating woman in the world, not just a woman, but his woman. The past was behind me, a lesson learned, and the future, vibrant and full of promise, stretched out before us. A few months later, surrounded by our loving families and closest friends, Alex and I exchanged vows. Our wedding day was everything I had ever dreamed of, and more. It wasn't just a ceremony, it was a celebration of resilience, of second chances, and of finding true love after heartache. Alex looked at me with so much love in his eyes, a depth of feeling that warmed me to my core. I, in turn, looked at him, feeling an overwhelming sense of gratitude and happiness. My dress was exquisite, my smile genuine, and my heart overflowing. Every detail, from the flowers to the music, reflected the joy and love that filled the air. It was a day where every moment felt perfect, a testament to the beautiful journey we had embarked on together. And so, we are living happily ever after. Our life together is a beautiful adventure. Alex is everything I could ever wish for in a partner, kind, supportive, brilliant, and incredibly loving. We share everything, from our dreams and aspirations to the everyday moments of joy. Our home is filled with warmth, laughter, and a sense of profound peace. We travel, we explore, we build, and we cherish every single moment. I am not just married, I am cherished, respected, and deeply loved. Every morning, I wake up with a heart full of gratitude, knowing that I found my true soulmate in Alex. Our love story is a testament to the fact that even after the darkest storms, the sun will always shine again, brighter and more beautiful than before. So, my wonderful viewers, what's the moral of my story? It's this: never, ever let anyone dim your light or tell you that you are anything less than magnificent. When someone tries to make you feel small, or dismisses your worth, remember that their opinion does not define you. You are strong, capable, and deserving of the deepest, most genuine love and respect. Sometimes, the universe has a way of removing things from your life that no longer serve you, clearing the path for something truly extraordinary. It might feel painful in the moment, but trust the process. Embrace your journey, believe in your own resilience, and always, always know your worth. You are a masterpiece, and you deserve a love story that celebrates every beautiful part of you. My journey wasn't easy, and there were moments when I thought I wouldn't make it through. But look at me now. I am standing here, a happy, loved, and fulfilled woman, sharing my story with all of you. Remember that even when life throws its toughest challenges your way, there is always hope. There is always the possibility of a new beginning, a brighter chapter waiting to be written. Don't be afraid to close doors that lead to pain and open new ones that lead to joy. Embrace your beauty, both inside and out, and never settle for anything less than what you truly deserve. Believe in the power of your own resilience, and to always chase after your own happily ever after. Stay beautiful, stay strong, and keep shining. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more inspiring African tales. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me continue sharing stories that touch hearts and change lives. Until next time, remember, love, faith, and courage are the greatest treasures you can ever have. Thank you, and God bless you all. Bye.